Hello and welcome back to the Cine Club podcast. I'm Matthew.
I'm Rhys.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Billy. Today, we're taking a look at the legacy of Jim Henson and his company's creations after my screening of the Muppet Movie for Cine Club. What better place to start then than the Muppets themselves? Which of their films is your favourite?
The one with the Muppets in.
Dickhead. I think maybe, yeah, the original
The
one.
original?
Yeah.
I've got to
Either that
disagree.
or the 2011 one. Because that was one of the first films I saw in the cinema, according to
Yeah,
my
that was
mum.
like our generation's Muppets, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Where sort
Brought
of,
them back as well, sort of.
For a brief time.
About
Yeah.
10 years. Because the Muppets are dead, in case anybody didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they're
Yeah.
gone. They're gone.
Mickey Mouse just took them all, rounded them all up and just like chucked them in the bin.
they're literally just sat in a cupboard now, aren't they? Like somebody showed. There
Oh,
was like
they
a video,
really?
and there's just like all
Oh yeah,
these
probably.
Muppets.
Where do you think they keep the puppets?
Well, I thought they keep them like, I don't know, like, I thought like vacuum seal them or something.
Put them in a loft,
Yeah.
like in a
Or some
vacuum
sort
bag.
of like some sort of fucking serial killer. Just like they've got you just walk into this room, you've got Fozzie Bear, like airtight bag around him. He's just sitting there.
That'd be-
blanket
that'd be
everywhere.
really good.
Yeah.
To be
Muppet
fair,
stuff.
that was how I found most of my childhood Muppets. When I was clearing my house out last year, I was like found them all like sealed in a bag, like
Oh.
looking at us.
But yeah, the original one is my favourite because it's just funny. It's
Yeah.
funny and it's just
Yeah.
nice. It's a nice film.
It's a nice, heartwarming film,
It
and I
is.
like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is good, this. And then you two were crying. And I was like, okay.
Crying like Tom Jerry.
Really?
It's yeah, because it's emotional. You've got like you've got the bit with Gonzo singing, like in the middle of the desert, like,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you've got that ending, and as soon as the rainbow comes through, like
Yeah, the rainbow almost got me.
What's that? I think it's the rainbow, like, you know, obviously that's like the moment where it's like, oh, that's so lush, but then it's the rainbow into like basically everyone Jim Henson's ever known and throughout his entire life contributing, basically just saying thanks like to the audience, you know.
Yeah.
It's just such a nice sentiment, I think, that to finish the film off. And I mean, it's weird because it's the first Muppet film, but it feels like it could have been the last one because
Yeah.
it is like basically almost like a big, you know, like I say, it's like an earnest thanks as like, thanks for making with us famous and letting we actually do this, because it's just, you know, it's daft, but people love it and that's why it's so good. And I think, you know, it's just nice. Like I say, it's just a proper heartwarming thing because it's just got that sort of, you can just tell how much passion was put into it. Like it's got
Yeah.
that sort of Henson humor in that, you know, that era of the Muppets that you don't really see anymore. I mean, obviously we don't really see them ever anymore at all, but like that, but like that, I mean, you know, the sense of humor that they have where it's like there's so many stupid jokes, but you don't even question it because they're like,
Yeah.
they're puppets doing the funny jokes and you just
think-
like,
Yeah. I like, as well as that, like, just the jokes. I think one of my favourite jokes in it is the final cameo with Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
And he has one line.
it's just
It's
such
so
a good
funny.
scene. It's such
I
a good
forgot he
scene.
was in it because I'd watched it 5 years ago and I didn't know who Orson Welles was. So I was like, this is some old man. And I rewatched it today and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's Orson Welles. And then it makes you think like, why is he in the Muppets? But then I think you'd said, Jake,
Yeah.
that it's because everyone who did the show had such a good time doing it. That
Pretty much,
everybody
yeah. They just
wanted to be involved.
had such a cast of like celebrity guests, and the word got out really fast. Apparently, that like, oh my god, you'll never have more fun doing like a TV show than you would doing the Muppet Show. So like everybody wanted to do it. I mean, I've watched quite a lot of the original Muppet Show, and like I can see why it looks like they're all having fun, and like the celebrities get really into it, and they sort of do the same thing in the film. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, obviously it's well, to a modern audience who doesn't watch loads of old shit like us, a lot of it would probably fly over their heads. But like just
Yeah.
seeing, you know, like your Elliot Gould out of The Long Goodbye and like Richard Pryor.
just a completely like
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't even think, does he barely has like a line or anything. It's just it's just like a proper time capsule to the 70s, and that's
Exactly.
kind of part of the appeal of it.
I think, the Steve Martin.
Steve
cameo,
Martin's
that's the best
so
one.
funny.
Are you
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog?
Yeah, he's a.
You may
he's
serve
a-
us now. Oh, may I?
I feel like you got something you want to say.
Yeah, I do. I've got to disagree.
I hate it.
What do you
I
mean?
knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say haters, but
Go on,
I
we'll
don't.
hear you out.
I think it's maybe because I haven't watched as much of the original Muppets or at all the original Muppets.
Okay.
And I'm not that plugged into 70s
Neither have
stuff.
I, though. I've not watched any of the Muppet Show.
Really?
But I felt
And
like
I've seen the Joan Baez episode.
all the
I
cameos,
wonder why.
all the cameos, I was just thinking, who's that supposed to be? I feel like I'm missing the
There were a
joke
couple
here.
who I didn't recognise.
Like, I recognise Paul Williams, I recognise Orson Welles.
You didn't recognise Richard
Awesome.
Pryor?
Nah.
Really?
Really?
What?
Well, you
Nah.
recognise Steve Martin, though, didn't you?
Oh,
Steve,
no.
you didn't
You're taking-
what?
yes, you did.
Rhys,
I'm terrible with this
come
stuff. I'm terrible with
on.
actor names. Like
Mel
and-
Brooks.
I don't know who Mel Brooks is. I don't remember when he was in the film though.
He's the
Oh, yeah, he's
scientist
German.
guy.
Oh
the,
my
like,
That was a
German
bold
scientist.
joke for the Muppets film, by the
the
way.
Nazi
I know.
scientist.
The Nazi
Yeah.
scientist. Well, that's what I mean. Though you would never see anything like that in like the
Yeah.
Disney
Mhm.
Muppets, like the sort of like.
I mean, they did produce that thing for ABC, the Office style show.
Yeah,
that was quite
that was
adult.
dead
That's the
funny.
most bold thing they've done in.
And then
That is
they-
pretty
and then
bold,
they
but,
cancelled
like,
it.
I was just about to say,
Fired
didn't they,
Steve
like, didn't-
Whitmire.
yeah, they sort of like buried it and cancelled it.
Why did they
and-
fire him?
I don't think they ever gave like a proper answer for it. It's apparently he was difficult to work with, but like you just hear different things from different people. So I don't imagine it was anything good, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
probably a sort of one of those situations where it's like rather than just doing a character assassination, but
Yeah. Didn't they also? I might be imagining this. Did they not have like a running joke in the media that Miss Piggy and Kermit got divorced?
Yeah, they did.
That's what's in the
well,
show,
in the,
isn't it?
yeah, in the
Yeah. Oh, is that
ABC
on the
because
show?
Kermit's got a younger pig girlfriend
I
in the
remember that.
ABC
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, but then towards the end of the series, they sort of look like they're rekindling the romance. But then the show gets cancelled. So then technically they've been divorced for about 10 years. Up until recently,
On
where
the
you had like
rocks.
the Muppet Haunted Mansion or something where it looked like they were back together.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
See, this is what happens when you get no Muppet content for 10 years. You get left on a cliffhanger.
What the
of,
storylines
like,
go unfulfilled.
Yeah.
The unfulfilled storyline
for
of
the
Miss
Kermit,
Piggy
man.
and Kermit. I mean, they were always a will they won't they though. Like they never
Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
in that
that's-
film, there will they, won't they?
They're a will
Yeah.
they won't they in that film, but like in all of the films, there's not one where they're like fully committed. Really,
Yeah.
I think.
Mhm.
Do they get married in Muppets Take Manhattan?
Yeah, they do right at the
Okay,
end.
I
yeah.
guess that there's that, but even that's like the whole thing.
That's such a beautiful scene at the end.
Yeah,
I
that
completely
is really
forgot about
cool.
that. And you've got like all the Sesame Street crew, like in the church as well.
Yeah.
Such a good scene.
Never seen Muppets Take Manhattan. I've seen Muppets
It's
in
good.
Space. I was forced to watch it on like a burned DVD copy. When I was about
Muppets Take
5.
Manhattan's good, and Muppets the Great Muppet Caper's great.
Yeah.
That one's good.
They're
Yeah, actually,
well
I
worth
forgot-
a watch.
I forgot about that one as well.
Okay.
Go on then,
Uh,
Rhys. Continue your
continue my
lambasting of
criticism.
this
Okay. I thought
beloved classic film.
I thought the whole Frogman bit,
What?
that whole like
Doc
plot
Hopper.
line, Doc Hopper, yeah.
He's called Kermit Rhys.
No, not Frogman.
I was like,
oh,
you
there's
watched it.
Frogman the Muppet. No, it was
Doc Hopper
Doc Hopper.
and Winslow.
I feel like that whole bit was a bit like contrived. I could have went without it, to be honest. It felt like he was a villain because they needed to have a villain.
Okay.
And
Well, I mean, I kind of see what you mean, but I think the more I've watched it, the more I get the meaning of that is like, it's that like his, like, you know, it's pointing out how silly human nature is, that like his
Yeah.
dream is to go and kill frogs, and
Mhm.
it's like, you know, you-
Just to blow Kermit's head off.
well, yeah,
Chase
like
him
and
across the
it's
country.
like sort of him. His point is that it's he's there to be like, oh well, actually, like I'm pretty sure dreams are supposed to be like you want to do something nice for people
Mhm.
rather than just
Yeah.
kill a
And
load
not-
of things to make yourself feel better.
yeah,
You know,
so
like
yeah, I just feel like
Some
how they
people-
get rid of him as well is quite. I know they just kind of throw him away at the end of the film. It's like, oh my god, big animal!
It is a little bit
whoa!"
anticlimactic. I will give you
Yeah,
that.
that's
The anticlimax there, that was like, oh, the joke went on for a bit.
What
too
did you
long.
want
I'm
to
like,
happen?
What I want to happen? I don't know. I thought Kermit would like kill him or
Doc Hopper
something.
shows
You
up
thought
for Kermit.
Kermit the
I don't
Frog
know.
was going to blow a
Would
man's
have
head
like
off?
a like Mufasa death for him. And
Where?
I
How?
don't know. I
What
don't
are
know.
you talking about, man?
Well, don't they do that at the end of the 2011 one? They like throw someone off the roof of the building, don't they? Or something like that.
No,
I
maybe.
can't remember.
But the,
I'm asking you because you watched it like the other day.
I
Didn't
know,
you?
but
They
no, I
do-
didn't watch this.
They do revisit that Doc Hopper thing in the. I think it was one of the like TV Christmas movies they did. It's the one where it's like It's a Wonderful Life, but the Muppets.
Merry Christmas. I want
I've
to
seen
No,
that one.
when Kermit wishes he wasn't born and he goes into that world where Kermit was never born, Doc Hopper's is actually a proper chain that exists
Really?
now.
Wow.
It hasn't like gone the way of the dodo because Kermit isn't around. So
Wow.
I thought it was quite a nice little nod to the past.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was a thing, really. What's that?
It's-
Which one's that?
I think it might be called It's a Very Muppet Christmas. I'm not.
yeah.
It's
good.
it's weird. It's like a really early 2000, like late 90s, early 2000s time capsule because there's like Fozzie at one point gets painted green, and then the Who's from The Grinch start chasing him around, trying to like basically like chasing him,
Thinking he's
trying
the
to kill him.
Grinch. Right.
And Whoopi Goldberg's God. Yeah. It's a strange film, but I did quite enjoy it for what it was.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
God, I forgot
Okay.
about that.
I'd never even heard of that.
There's that many Muppets Christmas films that they just get completely interchangeable. You've got that one. You've got like the 50-minute little short with I've forgotten the name of that one, but you got like the Muppets, Fraggle Rock, Sesame Street,
that
all
Muppets
in
Family Christmas.
that one, yeah.
yeah.
where they're all in one place. That one was quite good, and then you've obviously got The Elephant in the Room, Muppets Christmas Carol, which that's your favourite.
I like
isn't
that
it?
one. Yeah, I like that one. It's a good feel good film. But Muppets the Muppets movie that we've previously talked about
Muppet
just before,
Movie.
the Muppet Movie, whatever it's called, the original one,
Go on,
is
get it right, man.
also a very heartfelt film. I just feel like the humour didn't land for me as much as it did for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's my criticism of it.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Like, I just would have loved it more if there was more Muppets, less Doc Hopper as well. I feel like there wasn't enough Muppets to facilitate the Muppet antics.
I disagree, because I feel like Doc Hopper isn't really.
He's not in it, though.
He's not in it loads.
He's not
He shows up
bad.
occasionally to throw a spanner into the works to move the plot along.
Yeah.
He's not like, it's not like he takes all the focus away from the Muppets, 'cause it's still on Kermit and Fozzie and everyone they meet on this journey. And then Doc Hopper shows up like every 20 minutes to say,
Yeah.
I want to kill you, frog. And then they move on.
Well, he's like a Saturday morning cartoon villain, isn't it? It's like,
Mhm.
you know, he's not
Yeah,
going
he's
to
got his little
succeed.
sidekick
He's
too.
got his little sidekick. He's got his, silly outfit and his silly car, and like, they escape him in ridiculous sort of ways. I see what you mean. Like, I do think it's like, I remember when I watched this one as a kid, I did always think, why is there so many humans in it? But now I think that's why I like it more as a result of that
Yeah.
now, because it's like, this is the other, I looked at, I can't even remember why, I was looking at the script the other day, and the script has one of the greatest little lines I've ever seen, where it's like the opening thing is saying, this is like a Muppets film, so at no point do any of the humans in this question that they're talking to frogs and bears and chickens,
Yeah.
and like, it's just that, and it just I was just like, that's so Jim Henson, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think these films, how much you like them also sort of depends on which Muppets you like as well. Because
Yeah.
I like Muppets Christmas Carol, but I'm not as big of a fan of Rizzo or Gonzo as a lot of people are.
That's
Whereas,
criminal.
Yeah,
no, I know,
yeah.
but like Rizzo, Pepe, all of the sort of the modern.
Yeah, I don't get the Rizzo.
I don't
like,
get. I
You
just
don't like Rizzo?
I do love Gonzo.
Gonzo's class,
Gonzo's
but
my
like-
top three.
But like, I don't like the fact that he's like been like sort of neglected to just be this like him and the sidekick character, and
Yeah.
he's also like the main one in all of them now, which I think is as a result of Muppets Christmas Carol, because like obviously I love the whole Kermit as Bob Cratchit thing's
Yeah.
great, but Kermit, Rolf, all of them, the Muppets in the original film, that's like my peak Muppet
Is that your
dynamic.
lineup,
Those
your
are like
Mount
my
Rushmore?
yeah, my
Yeah.
like perfect sort of lineup
Yeah.
Mhm.
of the ones I want to see interacting and doing
Yeah.
stuff. It's great. And I know, there's the whole thing where it's like this whole Muppets playing characters in adaptations. I like that, and it's great, but like, it kind of means you don't really get Kermit as a character anymore. You just get Kermit as an actor,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean, which is a
Yeah.
really weird thing to say, but like, I like Kermit as a character because in this film, he has so many like funny quips, and he's such a like, he's this like sort of like stressed, slightly agitated, quite easily pissed off, like, guy. You don't get that anymore. I think modern Kermit's just like a Mickey Mouse kind of mascot character, where he's just kind of like the hi ho, I'm really happy, I love you all, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I get where you're
do you
coming
know
I
what I
kinda get
mean?
that,
Like,
yeah.
and the Kermit you see on the Muppet shows like that as well. He's just a very different sort of character, and that's why I like him, because he's a bit, he can be a bit of an arsehole sometimes.
I noticed that sometimes.
which I quite like.
He
I
has his
think
moments.
There's
Definitely.
he has these moments where it slips through, where generally he's quite mellow and level-headed, but then there's the odd bit. Like, I think one of my favourite lines in that film is when, in the Electric Mayhem, like, disguise the car when they're asleep, and then he's like, I don't know how to thank you, and he's like, I don't know why to thank you. Just don't even acknowledge it, but you can just tell he's like raging.
That makes him quite relatable in the way, though, because
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
were
exactly.
running a production company full of actual literal Muppets,
Literal Muppets,
you
yeah.
would be like stressed out. See, what I feel like I missed a lot of the funny side Muppets in that film. They have the
Okay.
moments, they have the little sections. I love Beaker, right?
Yeah,
Beaker's one of my favourite Muppets.
he isn't
He's
in
got
that
one scene,
as
he
much.
barely does anything.
Yeah,
I
that's
love, my
fair.
favourite part of him in that film is at the very start, actually, because when they're all in the theatre.
He's just
like,
stroking his nose.
Yeah, he's
Sorry, what?
it's
Peeking in the
big as
corner.
human hands. That's what I love about him.
Yeah, I forgot about how many like freakish human hands there were.
But like even then, Beaker to me, I like Beaker and I like
Bunsen,
Bunsen,
Honeydew.
but they're never big parts of the
No, they
film.
couldn't
They're
carry a
always just
film,
side
no.
roles.
Mhm.
So like in Muppets Christmas Carol, they're the two fellas who come in asking for charity.
Yeah.
They're not big roles, and that's kind of what the appeal is of them. Because if you
Yeah.
watch them for a whole film,
Yeah, you
I
get
would
sick
get
of
you'd be
it.
sick of
him,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's why I
Mhm.
think the smaller role in
Yeah.
the original film works.
Yeah.
that's another reason why you've sort of drew my attention to it. This is another reason why I think, because you gotta remember this is. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to like educate you in the ways of the Muppets yet. Just
You're trying.
I'm really not. I'm just saying in the context of when this film was made,
Mhm.
like the Muppet Show was a sketch variety show.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that the way they did it in this, where they're like, obviously because it's like a road movie, which is great in itself, but they're like a road movie traveling through the different Muppet Show sketches, basically. So like you always get to a bit and you're like, right, here they all are, there's the Muppets. And then like you say, you get to that little ghost town, it's like, shit, it's Muppet Labs, you know, and they have the two of them like doing that little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they join the gang and it like gradually moves through and you're like, you sort of meet each one independently. And I know, you know, there's the whole thing where it's like, oh, it's the origin story of the Muppets, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I think they get away with it because it's like a smaller role, but that is also just kind of what
That's
they
what
were
they
like
do.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
TV show. Like,
Mhm.
they just appear, do something funny, and then it cut back to something else, you know?
Yeah.
where-
That's their role. Some Muppets can't carry from, like I say, Kermit
Yeah.
and Fozzie and them are the emotional heart of the Muppets.
exactly.
But I don't know, it just wasn't very funny. That
Fair
that
enough.
sounds really mean. I just didn't
No,
laugh
it's
at it
but,
much.
like, I
Probably
mean,
because
it
it was
is-
freezing cold as well when we were watching it. That didn't help.
That's
Yeah.
a weird way to look at this.
Well, because
Oh,
I
I'm
was cold.
cold. This
I'm
is
cold.
shit.
I can't laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't get myself fully into it partly because of that, so I'm blaming the cinema.
Put a jacket on.
Put a coat on.
I had one. It was my legs that were freezing. What do you want us to do? Put another pair of pants on.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, it's fair enough. Like, I know what you mean. It's not everyone's sense of humor. It's a very, very specific. They're basically dad jokes. Like
Yeah.
most of the Jim Henson Muppet humor is dad jokes,
Henry.
which I quite like. But you know,
I like the jokes on the bits of the show that I've seen and the other Muppet movies though. So
Yeah.
why is that not?
I know
They?
I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know why I don't know. I like some bits.
You'll have to like Statler and Waldorf, surely.
Oh yeah, I love them.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're my
great, yeah.
favourites.
Yeah.
Wow,
Uh,
screening must be that bad.
Mhm,
I love them.
Yeah, I love the bit in the saloon where they get swung around, where someone swings Kermit around over his
Oh,
head.
yeah, well,
That's a
yeah.
great bit.
El Sleazo by
Uh-huh.
Paul Williams.
Like it's got its high points, but it's got its low points as well. Yeah, it's not a perfect film. It's got the heart. It just didn't have much else
Yeah.
for me.
I think it also has the best soundtrack.
Yeah.
Out of
Oh,
all
yeah,
of
yeah,
them. And,
yeah.
like, I think, I mean, Paul Williams, like I say, is the goat. But like,
Yeah.
but I really do think all of the songs are really good. But like, Rainbow Connection's like probably my favorite song ever put to film. So you know,
Yeah.
I'm biased in that regard. But
It's completely understandable. I thoroughly disagree with Rhys, but I can sort of understand where he's coming from to
Yeah.
an extent. I think a lot of the like, oh, I didn't enjoy it because I was cold. I don't know if that works.
That's
Maybe
not,
it's,
that's not
as
a valid
criticism.
critique. That's just
Yeah.
my
But,
personal thing.
Yeah,
maybe it's maybe just nostalgia though. I like
Was
because
it- I didn't watch it when I was little.
did you not?
No, I only saw it all. I'd seen bits and bobs, but I only saw the original film the entire way through, probably 3-4 years ago. So it's not nostalgia.
Yeah, I
Uh,
guess.
I'd remember.
But were you like into the Muppets as a kid?
Not as a little kid. No,
Not
when I
massively.
got older, like around when the 2011 one came out and Most Wanted was out, I sort of got into it a bit then because I used to be scared of them when I was little. But I wouldn't even call it nostalgia with the original because like
It is.
I think
I
it just
mean,
works really well
I
as a
agree
film.
that it is genuinely like a really well made film, and I mean, like I say, you know, there's many other things I could commend about it. I was saying about the something about the color of it. It's just the Muppets on that sort of 70s film stock just looks so right. Like it just looks really warm and fuzzy, and it's just got so like colorful and nice
Yeah.
looking. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It is just such a pleasant film that you just I've never really gone wrong with it.
That's a good
but,
word
like,
to describe it. Pleasant.
It's just pleasant,
you-
you know. It's
You can't really. Well, I didn't think you could have a bad time watching it. It's just
You've clearly never watched it cold.
No, you didn't have a bad time,
Gosh.
did you?
I didn't have a bad time.
Yeah,
no, it
you
just
enjoyed
wasn't the
You just didn't think it was
Perfect.
like
Really
an
into
earth-shattering
masterpiece that made you
masterpiece
cry
would-
that like
Yeah.
everyone else thinks it is.
Mm,
Yeah, because I think I'm the least Muppet pill in the whole room.
that's true.
I'm not that big on them. I
Mm.
like
Really?
them. I'm not that big on the Muppets.
Yeah, I'm not ambivalent to one. I do like them. I'm
Yeah, I
like,
like them.
oh, that's Kermit the Frog. I love Kermit the Frog, but I'm not like
Yeah.
he doesn't mean something
Yeah,
to my heart.
he
You
doesn't-
know?
Yeah.
It didn't break your
wasn't-
heart when
I-
you found out Muppet Vision.
I was not
closing.
phased.
No,
when
I
they
wasn't.
were-
I wasn't one of the Muppet Vision like defenders. I saw you like.
I mean,
absolutely-
yeah, I'm pretty sad about it. I'm
Yeah.
It's
not.
sad, but I wasn't like
I'm not losing sleep over it. But
mortified.
Like, yeah,
No,
I wasn't protesting.
I think the Muppets are a criminally underrated like thing.
Yeah,
I
I
do
do
agree
think
with
they
that.
need to have more money and time and
Yeah.
like professional.
no matter what, they are
sent away.
underutilized massively in this
Yeah,
day and age.
it is criminal.
Because I wouldn't care, but they've never been more popular. Like, I've literally never seen more people online saying, my God, I need more Muppets content in my life. And Disney are like, would you write Lilo and Stitch 2 instead? It's like, no, man, like, you've got the Muppets. Just use the Muppets. It's ridiculous.
That's what
I
Disney
don't get
does.
it.
They just eat franchises and then
They do. It's like,
kind of
I
add
just,
the conglomerate.
they've got like,
spit them
and
out.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
care, but like, that's the whole thing. The whole golden age of like Muppet parody films was 20 years ago with like classic public domain
They
literature.
need
Like,
more.
just
Just keep doing that
they've
forever
got
and ever. I'd
every
never get
franchi-
sick of it.
Disney's got like every franchise right now, and they could do Muppet Predator and like
Muppet Star
Muppet
Wars.
Predator is my
Muppet, like-
favorite one that I would do.
there's so many ones they could do, and they would be great. I mean, you know, obviously they couldn't just do it over and over. They'd still have to. I think they'd have to do some serious casting if they were going to start doing proper
yeah,
Muppet
yeah.
films again. I'm not watching Matt Vogel Kermit and like in like
Oh, yeah,
proper
from
big
what-
films
When I
again.
first heard that the fella voicing Kermit, I thought it was a bit.
Yeah.
He's
I
just
thought it was
terrible.
somebody like pulling my leg.
Because that's part of what I think
That's what he
made the
thought as
Muppets sink a bit. That Jim Henson died.
He's a
Like
puppet.
he was the heart and soul behind them, and him dying is like took the steam out of their sails. I
Yeah.
feel. Took the wind out of their
Been
sails.
dead
Sorry.
30 years, hasn't he?
he's been. I don't know if I would say that because if it was like Muppets Christmas Carol,
Yeah, that was a post Jim
Treasure
Henson
Island,
thing,
all that.
so.
That was after Jim Henson passed away, and it like his son took over directing. Steve Whitmire took over as Kermit, and I think they still work really well. So I wouldn't say it's all entirely down to Henson's passing. I think it's more so Disney's just ambivalence towards the franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's not really their thing.
No,
They
no.
have it, but they don't see it as their thing, which is why it's in like this awkward middle ground where people who actually want to do something with it can't do anything with it, but then the people who can do something with
Yeah.
it don't really want to do
They're
anything
just
with it because
very-
They're
it's
just letting
very
poor
silly.
Kermit get eaten by moths in the
literally.
cupboard somewhere.
Well, he went up for auction like a week or two ago,
Did he?
didn't he? There was like an auction video where it was just like a Kermit like on a
That
spit,
shouldn't be.
basically.
Oh, that's
Shouldn't-
terrible.
It's just tragic.
It's terrible when you see them without a puppeteer. That's
yeah,
what
it just feels wrong, doesn't it? I know.
Like
but-
some of them are already like in museums rotting away.
Yeah, I
Like
really want to
some-
go to that museum in I can't remember where it is,
I
but
don't
there's
know
like
which one you mean, like
the
the moving pictures,
a
one or
moving
whatever it
picture
is.
one, yeah,
Mm.
and they've got like basically all of Jim Henson's work like on display.
Yeah.
and
That's
they've got
cool.
so cool. But they've got the
Mhm.
Swedish Chef, but you know how he had like actual human hands. They're like
Yeah.
casted Frank Oz's hands.
That's
So it's like the
really
That's
most
really
accurate
good.
possible version you can see. Bar.
Frank Oz still around.
Frank Oz is
Yeah.
still going. Yeah, he
Mhm.
still does the Muppet
Okay.
stuff if he gets asked to, I guess.
Yes,
but
paid.
if he gets
Just
paid.
brush the dust off him. Frank, wake up.
Oh, Frank.
Wake up, we're making Muppets again.
Cryogenic freeze.
One of them's kept over here. I think one of the original Fozzies is in like Newby Hall
It's
or
in
something.
Billy's house.
Not
Yeah,
that.
it's in my house.
Oh yeah, there you
Wait,
go.
was that Fozzie or was that the gingerbread man from Shrek? Was it both?
Maybe it's both. Who
Okay.
knows?
I've got a Sesame Street and Muppets as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I've got Ernie in the house.
Yeah, well,
There you go.
You
they're
do,
all
don't
sort
you?
of
Yeah.
branded
Right.
under Muppets. You can be pedantic about it, but like
Yeah.
the Henson puppets are all called Muppets,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is probably a good segue to move on to the
The
television
non-Muppets.
stuff.
Yes.
No, Rhys, that's what I've just been saying.
No, they're not called the Muppets, but they are still Muppets. Anything
Oof.
that's made of felt and with big googly eyes on top's a Muppet.
You're
to me.
Muppet.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. He called them Muppets before the Muppet Show was a thing. He just used the Muppet Show as like the way to brand them as
Yeah.
Muppets. Because I mean, Kermit was on Sesame Street.
Yeah.
At
Mm.
many points, and Kermit was in like all of them. He's just seen as the face of the Muppets now.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving right along, we reach some of the Henson Company's television efforts with Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock. Do you lot have any thoughts on either show?
Not massively.
No.
Sesame Street. Actually, they just sort of had to be included, but
Yeah.
Sesame Street, I don't think was ever really a massive thing over here. At least it wasn't for me.
No.
Because obviously it's PBS. Well, it was PBS in America. Thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think it really got massive distribution over here. And Fraggle Rock, it's like it was finished before we were born, and it's only really just come back
Yeah.
onto
Yeah.
Netflix recently. Which,
Has it?
well, there's a reboot of it, I think, on Netflix. Just like how you've got the Dark Crystal
Yeah.
prequel show.
Oh, don't worry, we'll get to that.
Yeah, but like I say, I feel like they both never really had a massive. Like I know the characters of
I think
Fraggle Rock.
like,
I know the
that's the
characters
thing.
of Sesame Street.
It's one of those things where everybody like knew the characters. Like I
Yeah.
knew the Cookie Monster, I knew Elmo. I
You
knew
can't go to Primark without seeing
Well,
Cookie
yeah,
Monster
that's
stuff
true,
all
yeah.
over.
exactly. But like even back in the day when I was a kid, I knew them all. But I never you couldn't watch Sesame Street.
It wasn't
really,
accessible. That's
it
what
wasn't
it
really
was.
anywhere. Like I never watched it.
No.
I remember loving Elmo and stuff, but I never
Yeah.
really watched.
So everyone had like the Elmo toy, didn't they? Where
Yeah,
you press like
yeah.
his foot and you
Tickle
like
me
walk
Elmo.
towards
Tickle
him.
me
That's
Elmo,
bizarre though. Like how like sort of a big cultural thing they were over here
how
with the
marketable
toys.
it was,
But
but then
then-
none of us have like
yeah,
seen it.
None of us.
Yeah. I like.
It's baffling.
It's because of the stuff like Elmo's World. That was originally a Sesame Street segment, and then that got cut off
Yeah.
and like made into
Yeah.
its own show, which is what I saw when I was a kid.
Oh,
I was watching
right.
Elmo's World, and that was like my introduction. That and Bert and Ernie on the bed.
No, is Sesame Street still going?
Yeah,
I
Well,
think so. Yeah.
HBO have it, doesn't
I
it?
no, I think it was PBS, but then a certain fella cut all funding to PBS. So I
Ew.
think now I'm sure it might be going to Netflix,
Okay.
which
Maybe.
isn't ideal because PBS was essentially America's BBC. It's
yeah.
it was all accessible to everyone, and now
Yeah.
all these like educational lessons are locked behind the doo-dum paywall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going
Yeah,
backwards.
that's
on it. That's great.
But yeah,
Oh, well.
at least they're still kicking.
Yeah, I remember. I've seen clips from Sesame Street, and one of my favorite ones is James Gandolfini, who was on it.
Oh yeah. What is it? I'm terrified of giant vegetables.
It's
Thank
so
God there's
funny.
none of them.
They're like a
around
big
here.
broccoli comes on the corner. That's what I've seen of Sesame
Mhm.
Street.
The celebrity guest spots are quite good. They managed
Yeah.
to incorporate that. That's something they've always been good at. I think the guest.
Yeah,
It's just preschool Muppets.
That,
It's that
that
pull. Yeah.
that clip that came out last year or whatever it was with Andrew Garfield
Ah,
talking
yeah.
to
Oh, his
Elmo
mum.
about his mum.
Do you reckon they rang him up and they were like, "Look, we know your mum's dead. Do you want to talk to like
Do you reckon,
Elmo
do you
about
reckon they were
it?"
doing the Elmo voice on the phone? Hi, Mr. Andrew.
Andrew Garfield's like, "Mr.
This is Elmo talking.
That'd be terrifying.
Chris Tucker."
I feel like this is the thing about Sesame Street. I'd never even clocked really until I watched that what was the Jim Henson Idea
Yeah.
Man documentary. The way that it was like he basically used it as like a little platform to make experimental short films as well. So like all of the like counting up segments and all of the like there's like non-puppety stuff in Sesame Street, which is
Oh
I
my
only
god, he's
know
called
about-
Count Dracula because he teaches you to count.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
well,
god,
they just call him the Count.
The Count.
I didn't
Yeah.
Oh
even
my
think of
god,
that, yeah.
You
dude.
just didn't think of that.
Oh no, I knew
Okay,
knew
I was
that.
gonna
I'm not-
say.
that wasn't even the Count I was referring to though.
Are you
It's
talking
just
about the
like-
weird abstract face in the dark?
It's
Yeah.
stuff like that.
This is
yeah,
all I
it's
know
like-
Sesame Street from.
What are you talking
Death
about?
and scary things. I don't know anything nice about it.
Yeah.
I don't know, remember
yeah.
Sesame Street once? Oh, it was like Sesame Street or
Nightmare
a show
on
like
Sesame
that.
Street.
Yeah, it was that. Where someone was talking on Sesame Street and then they stopped talking and just looked in the camera. Started looking at me. And I remember waking up. I was like, what the hell was that? I was panicking. Horrible. There you go.
That's
a
terrifying.
little-
Yeah.
That's my experience with Sesame
Yeah.
Street.
Brilliant.
That's how he put those projects out, though, just giving to the kids who are too young to understand them and they're too scared to say anything to the parents.
Yeah. Well, that was like, I mean, that's not true though, because didn't they ban that Wicked Witch one because it was like terrifying. Then it became like lost media until like last year or something.
I heard about that.
Bert and Ernie or Lost Media.
They've been sent to the Phantom Zone.
Okay, let's shift over to the Henson Company's two dark fantasy films, Labyrinth and The Dark Crystal. Do you guys like them?
Why did you
Labyrinth's
say
one
that
of the
like
best
an
film-
actual goblin? Like,
The Dark
solve my riddles
the
3!
Labyrinth is one of the best films of the 80s.
The Dark Crystal's better though.
The Dark
You can-
Crystal.
I
I
don't
disagree. I disagree.
Disagree with what?
I disagree that the Dark Crystal's better than Labyrinth.
Really?
Yeah.
Is David Bowie in Dark Crystal?
No.
No.
By the way, whoever's idea that
David
was.
Bowie with heart with like no pants on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like, we're making this kids film, and they're like, who should we get in? We'll get him in. Do you reckon anybody brought it up
What, that you could see his knob
how
through the whole
noticeable
thing?
his fucking space oddity was. People are like, hang on.
Okay, yeah. David Bowie, tight pants.
I like Labyrinth. I
Labyrinth's
really do, but I like the Dark Crystal a lot more.
I was very bored watching Labyrinth, I've got to say.
I was very bored watching The Dark Crystal.
Oh, I'm going
Really?
to fight you here.
It's the production design's brilliant on it. Like, don't get us wrong,
Yeah.
but I was just bored. It's just this stupid little thing walking about, and then there's like a bong-eyed witch for a bit, and then there's just Rhys, but he's like a bird,
What?
and he goes,
the Skeksis.
yeah, and
Alright.
then some little gremlin thing gets like
Fizzgig.
no, not the
fucking-
Fizzgig,
the
the
gel- not the gelflings,
the
what they
little-
call the
the
little
little-
things.
Ah, so you do know their names.
the little gnome things, and then he gets like
Oh,
he
the
gets turned to
podlings,
dust.
That's it, podlings,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, it's great world building and that, but I've never been a fantasy fan. I'm
I'm not that big.
Mm.
I'm not a fantasy guy. Like, when I've seen
Like
Lord
you
of the
don't like comedy films.
I've seen Lord of the Rings,
Sad life.
each of them like once.
yeah,
I don't really care about
Yeah.
fantasy. So
Well,
like,
I know, because it's weird because I'm kind of the same. Like, I'm not really that bothered on fantasy, and I'm not really that bothered on Lord of the Rings. But this is like my Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
I,
you're like a big like Muppets man.
I am. I'm.
so am I, but
Well, so
it's
is
just
he,
boring.
yeah.
Well, because it's not, it doesn't have the Muppets vibe, it doesn't have little frog people dancing about. It's got,
That's why I like it though. Yeah,
it's a evil Muppets. It's like
Yeah.
the 14-year-old's creepypasta Muppets.
it's like the same care and attention to detail,
Mhm.
and really stupidly good like animatronics
Yeah.
and props and puppets and everything.
Yeah.
Just in this like darker world, and I'm
That's why it's good, I think, because
Yeah.
as you were saying, your Lord of the Rings is the fantasy, but it's
Yeah.
also, because of that, the only fantasy. Everyone,
yeah, exactly.
people
that.
don't like fantasy unless it's got elves and dwarves and men and like
Totally.
orcs in now. Like
Elves, dwarves and men.
like that. Lord of the Rings and D&D have had a very bad knock-on effect on fantasy. And
Yeah.
I think the Dark
Okay.
Crystal stands out, and Labyrinth as well stand out even more because they don't follow the
Exactly
dwarves,
that.
dwarves,
Yeah.
elves, orcs
Yeah.
bit.
They're like original creatures, and like every single thing in the Dark Crystal, like it's just such a like lively world. Like there's so many bits where they're just like moving through, and there's just all these like original creatures that they've
Mhm.
like somebody's come up with. And you know, and I mean, I think I've got the book it's like the art book,
Yeah.
and it's Brian Froud's concept drawings, and it's so much effort was put into creating this like Thra and making it, you know, this like world that is
Mhm.
like this fantasy thing so separate
Yeah.
from everything else. And like, you know, I mean, it is that it's the chosen one narrative. It's pretty basic, but
Mhm.
like I like that. I like the way it starts, and you know, I mean, it's like the way the matte paintings look, and everything just suddenly changes when they fulfill the prophecy and everything, and it
Yeah.
is like a big crystal. And I don't know, I can't really explain why I like it so much beyond
Well,
that.
it's got that
just-
like Black Cauldron-y vibe. of,
Yes,
like
totally
scary
that.
fantasy.
Yeah.
I think it's got great world building, like you say,
Mm-hmm.
and it just, the narrative is the weakest part of it, I've got to say.
Yeah, the narrative is the weakest part, but that's why I like the Netflix show as well, because
Mm.
the Netflix show, like, it basically takes that world. It does like the Andor thing, where it, like, kind of, yeah, I'm using some buzzwords to get you to watch the Netflix show. It's it's a similar sort of thing where it, like, it's like a prequel,
Mm-hmm.
but it like introduces like the sort of everything that happened that led to the Skeksis like taking over,
Yeah.
and like so it's like, you know, you see this whole council of Gelflings and the like Gelfling royalty and all these
Mhm.
different like characters, and then you know there's still people on quests and stuff, but it's like, but in the fact that they still made it with puppets, like they made it with the exact same sort of production design, I
Mhm.
think is such an anti-Netflix thing, really, which is
Yeah.
probably why they cancelled it.
Yeah.
But like,
Mhm.
yeah, you know, it was like, I don't know, I just really like it. I just love the design of everything.
Yeah.
I love the music as well. I think the score's so good.
Mm.
Yeah, I just watched it at a time when I was just not that
Yeah.
bothered on fantasy, and I was like,
That-
oh, actually, I like this.
That's what I think the problem is with a lot of Jim Henson stuff, that no one's willing to pick it up now because it's all
Yeah,
Muppety and puppety, and you've got to put a million
you've got to
hours
put
into
loads
making
of
practical
effort into
effects
doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
instead of just CGI, because Netflix would 100% want to CGI that. If
Yeah,
they could,
oh,
they would have
they would.
100% done that.
Well,
In,
like every other company does, there's like that Muppets Babies reboot, which is just
Ugh.
like a CGI cartoon.
Yeah.
Which, and I know the original was a cartoon as well, but like, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
The thing is, the puppets of the Muppet Babies are out there somewhere because they were in like a flashback in, I think it was either
Muppets Take Manhattan.
Yeah, it was in Muppets
yeah.
Take Manhattan, so they do exist.
Mhm.
They just can't be bothered.
Yeah,
to
I
use
never
them.
realized that they were based on a design from those films. It was only when I rewatched that a little while ago I was like, oh yeah, it's the Muppets babies. Look at that. That's another one that you can't watch anywhere because it's too much to license. Apparently.
Oh really?
Well, Muppet Babies.
Muppet Babies.
Not
Because
that I want to watch Muppet
because like
Babies,
every
but-
episode of it was like a parody of a film, so they'd have to pay like license
Oh,
fees
nice.
to like
Mm.
basically every company ever because like every episode was a parody of like a really popular thing.
I put
from
that
the
much
80s.
effort into Muppet Babies. Anyway,
But yeah,
back to the fantasy ones. Bit more on Labyrinth.
yeah. Go on, explain why
I like the
Labyrinth is
music.
better.
Well, I'm quite biased towards Labyrinth,
Yeah.
but I never used to like it when I was younger. I remember watching it thinking, God, this is fucking dull. And then I rewatched it about 6 years ago, and I was like, you know what, I'm liking this now. Yeah, like you said, the music's great. You got sounds like Magic Dance and Underground, which are bangers.
yeah.
But then I just like the creatures in it, like
Yeah,
Hoggle.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Hoggle's
the
coolest.
it's got
Cool
that same
Hoggle, man.
like sort of level of cool production design as Dark Crystal, but I just think it's the quirkiness of it makes it more entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you've got
Yeah.
Bowie just like literally twiddling crystal balls around the whole film. You've
Mhm.
got, like you say, Hoggle. You've got what's he called, Pluto or something.
Don't know.
The big orange,
big thing.
the big
Yeah.
orange.
Oh, Ludo.
Ludo.
Yeah.
You've got
The Basil
the-
Brush
the
one.
worm.
yeah, you've got Basil Brush
worm.
going about on the
Hello.
Dulux.
Yeah,
Oh,
the worm with the scarf on, yeah.
Hello. Did you say hello? No, I said hello, but close enough.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's
It's
less-
it's weird, but it's fun.
It's
And
the
he's
same
like-
effort in,
he's
just
just-
less. Sorry, you go
No,
first.
it's alright. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, it's the
effort.
same like effort into the world building, just less into like making a fantasy world, more into making goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
but
like,
I mean,
creatures.
it is, and I know, but like even then, the narrative is just my brother's being kidnapped,
Yeah.
and then you
Mhm.
just have to watch like sort of a whiny teenager
Well, no,
with this
it's-
filthy old man puppet thing. Like,
well,
I don't.
it's I sort of clocked it by then. It's about letting go of your childhood.
Yeah,
So like all
that's fair
like when
enough.
you get that initial pan through a room, she's got like a wooden carving or something of Hoggle.
Who has that?
There's like a Goblin King statue on her desk, and one of the photos that's stuck to her mirror looks like David Bowie. So and then obviously she's obsessed with all these like plush toys and teddies that she's still got off being little.
Imagine that.
And then you get later on in the film, and you're in the junkyard bit, and like that thing's coming up to her, and it's just sticking all of these like teddies to her, and everything's like,
Yeah.
oh, why would you need to go back out there? You've got everything you need here. You know, you love this. You love,
Yeah,
and
that's-
then she like casts it all off, rejects it all, goes to the Goblin Kingdom, saves her brother, and then you get to like that final scene when she's like cast Jareth away.
Hmm.
And just speaking into a mirror, and like the cast of the characters the quirky people she's met are behind her. She's like, oh, if you ever need, we're always here. And she's like, oh, you know, sometimes I do need you. And then she
a
turns
man
around.
walks in.
And it's like,
Jesus
well,
Christ.
it's sort of like, you know, letting your childhood go, but you don't forget about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
having it still with you. And I quite like that by the end.
Yeah.
I suppose that's a whole thing for this whole Muppets era.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that is.
Everyone
that is
likes
true.
the Muppets. Everyone's known of the Muppets as a kid, and a lot of people have grown up with the Muppets, but you still like them as an adult.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because
No.
that's the thing, though, isn't it? It's because they weren't really ever written as for kids. I don't think
Jim
They-
Henson wanted to do a talk show, an
pretty
adult talk
much,
show with puppets,
yeah,
didn't he?
like exactly
Yeah,
that. I mean,
like that, whatever it was, the reel that they made to try and sell it to the network. where
oh,
he's-
what sex and violence?
Yeah,
on
sex
the
and
Muppet Show,
violence,
yeah. Well, that was it, because like every network thought, oh, Puppets, it'll be a kids show, but he
Yeah.
was basically just saying, no, like I want to do like a comedy sketch show with these funny looking things, you know, and yeah, I mean,
that would have sold like hotcakes. That
Well,
But
it
they
would,
just-
I know, and that's
They
the
just
thing.
branded it as a kids thing, thus it became a kids thing.
Oh, the straight away would have been selling it, but it took ages, and it was ITV. They were the ones who picked it up.
Oh.
Blue Grade. The only reason he took a punt on it was because he'd made so much money on Thunderbirds like 10 years before.
Ah.
So and that's
I
who
never
Orson,
knew that.
yeah, did you know? That's who Orson Welles is. So Sir, what is he? He's called Lord something, Lord Grade or
Yeah,
Lord
yeah,
something or other in the
yeah.
film. That's basically just the Lou Grade character.
Oh.
So they made
That's
it all.
clever.
They shot it all in London, and it made it to air in the UK first before it ever ended up in America.
Oh.
And it was only because it was a success over here that they were able to sell it to
I knew
America.
that they filmed it over here. I probably did know that, but I've just completely like
blanked it out. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, well, there you go. Thank you, Defunct Land. Your checkers in the mail.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, I've always thought that was quite interesting. But that's the thing, you can tell that he was never really settled on using puppets as children's entertainment, which is why I like Labyrinth and the Dark Crystal so much, because they're like, you know, because they are just like, the puppets are just, it's just an art of filmmaking, you know, like there's not a single, I mean, obviously there is loads of humans in Labyrinth, but like the Dark Crystal, there's not a single human, and yet it's still, like, there's still really expressive characters. And still
Rhys is in it.
Well,
Why am I a Skeksis?
You just give that energy.
I don't give Chamberlain vibes. That's an insult to me.
That is
I'd
pretty
rather
harsh,
be a
like,
bloody podlin.
you know, them
You'd rather be a podling.
hideous looking turkey things in
No,
the Dark
it's
Crystal
just-
that
it's
fall
just-
in a bit. You
It's
look
just
like
as
one of those.
Is it
it's not a
is it?
look. It's not a look thing. It's just
a vibe.
It's just a vibe. Yeah.
That's fair
Okay.
enough.
Just a vibe.
Vibe-wise, yeah. Chamberlain's good. I think that, like, talking on that Labyrinth is a more easily relatable thing with the whole theme of leaving a childhood behind. Whereas Dark Crystal exists in this entirely fantasy world.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in Labyrinth we have the normal person going into the fantasy world, which is a common method of introducing an audience to a fantasy world, where the Dark Crystal, it's just Gelflings, Podlings, Skeksis, whatever the other ones are called.
I think that's the crucial difference. I think that's probably why I like the Dark Crystal more, because, like, don't get me wrong, I do like Labyrinth. I don't know, like, I don't like that sort of human going into
fun.
No, I do like fun. It's the human going into the Muppet world to do Muppety things and learn something about themselves. Like, it's good. It's just not really my. I don't know. I just like the Dark Crystal more. I don't. It's just so different. And I think at the time I watched it, it was just like I couldn't really imagine it, because I was just like, I love the Muppets. What the hell could a fantasy film not aimed at kids be like with that technology?
Yeah.
Not to mention,
I never really looked at it as a Muppets film.
What, Labyrinth?
Yeah.
That's fair, yeah, because it's not really. Maybe that was why I didn't like it as much, because I was like, it's
because you went in with the Muppet viewpoint.
I went in with the sort of Muppet viewpoint, whereas it's more of just it is more like a fantasy film with just cool puppet special effects, I guess, which, you know, is like, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a lot of that stuff as well. But yeah, it's also worth crediting his work on the Ninja Turtles films as well. I think the reason those effects were so good was Jim Henson did pretty much all of that.
There's so many things that if we go down the
into, like, everything, you know,
did,
you got, but
Ninja Turtles, Five Nights at Freddy's.
that's true.
It's sort of a lot. He does a lot of middle of the road films, but they're always like enhanced by his like company's costuming and puppetry and
And Kevin Clash as Splinter is like one of the best like voice actor performances, which is really weird because you wouldn't think that Elmo would be a really good voice of Splinter in Ninja Turtles. But anyway, so no, I do like, don't take that as I don't like Labyrinth. I do still really like it. I just prefer the Dark Crystal, and the TV show's really, really good as well. So
I need to watch that.
You should watch
that's
it.
What I'm taking away from this episode. Watch Dark Crystal TV show.
Because it's not that long, and it's just a bit more. It gives you a bit more lore. If you like, if you're interested in the world like I was, then you'll probably take quite a lot from it. So
okay,
interesting.
Right. So, I think that's all the celebrational, Muppetational discussions we have time for in this episode. And now we pose the question to you, dear viewer: who is your favourite Muppet? I am a massive Beaker fan. That's mine. And you can get in touch with us at cineclub.podcast at sparksunderland.com to let us know.
Also, make sure to check out our socials at the.cineclub.podcast _spark on Instagram, at the.cineclub.podcast on TikTok, or the Cineclub Podcast on Facebook. They're all good ways to keep up to date on the latest podcast developments.
As always, this episode was recorded and produced by us, the Sunderland University students, as well as being edited by Emily Main. Special thanks to Steve Cannon, Barbara Sadler, and Richard Berry. Reminder that our 4 puppeteers this week have been me, Jake,
me, Matthew,
me, Billy,
and me, Rhys. This has been a Cine Club production for Spark. Thanks for listening.